Okay, this is James Morrow, and this video is about changing this ignition coil module on this Johnson Red push mower, and I'll show you guys how to take the cover off and everything. Cover's coming off. Take the recoil off. Take the cover off. And then we're going to take the coil off. Looks like we're taking the cover off. We already took the cover off. Now we're going to take the coil wire off. And the reason why the ignition coil has to be replaced is because it's got to be replaced because the wire on it is, the thing for the spark plug is all corroded and it's all broken. That's why, basically, why we're doing this. So it's it seems like it's a real easy job to do, and when we do this, we're gonna have to do it carefully. So we take the coil wire off, the ignition coil's off, and I can show you guys what is actually wrong with this. The wire in there is actually broken, only because when I don't know if it was from heat or what, but it's kind of cracked and kind of worn out. So now see, we're replacing the ignition coil wire, or the ignition coil. We're putting a new one on, and we're putting the new one on, and we gotta make sure it's, now see, we're taking a piece of paper to make sure it's gapped properly, or we're screwing it in place. I mean, you could almost take like a business card and do it that way too. You could also take a piece of paper or whatever you have laying around to gap this coil. And we're putting the bolts back in, screwing it all back in, closed, so it's tight. This seems like a real easy job, though, I would think. I mean, I could do this. So it's pretty easy to do. We're pretty easy doing this. The ignition coil back on. And it's pretty pretty good. That wire, the ground wire, has to go back on. Spark plug wire has to be put back in. And we're all good. And there's my dessert. And we put the cover all back on. And there's my dessert. Recoil has to go back on. It's all got to be bolted back together. That was a pretty easy job. So the cover's going back on. Bolted back on. And there's my dessert.